Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I'm going to have you standing and sitting and up and down and doing and trying different things to help you move your energy, because we are energetic beings, and managing big emotions like we're having these days requires movement. So I'm going to thank you in advance for playing with me tonight. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, I've been given all that many presentations, but I really enjoy it, and I still get nervous. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, and I can't tell if you're doing it or not, so if you want to do it, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But I'm going to ask you to squiggle, because all of the techniques I'm teaching you are things that you can also teach your kids. And the squiggle is just, yes, I made that name up. It's just moving your body and moving your energy. So it's like this. You stand up and you just move your body around like it sounds, squiggle, because we hold our body so tight that this is one of the best things to do. Just that little bit of movement, I already can feel that my body feels a little bit more calm and more relaxed. So if you're finding yourself, you're uptight, you're nervous, give your body a squiggle, move it around, do something that's moving. So let me get back to my arrow here. First of all, I want you to know that just by being here, you are really great parents. By being here, that tells me you care, you want to learn more, and you get it. So some of my information, the exercises might feel awkward or they might feel uncomfortable. Please give yourself permission to go past your comfort zone and take a risk. Stretch yourself. Try something new and have the courage to fail, because you know what? None of us, I have 3 adult children myself, none of us are perfect. Some of this information, some of these techniques might be new territory for you. So really cut yourself some slack, try it again, be very kind to yourself while you're learning. And know that with all that's going on in our world today, it's really important to help our kids navigate what they're feeling. We need to give them tools to calm themselves and to teach them how to connect with nurturing relationships so that they may not only bounce back from this experience that we're all having, but thrive from it. So remember, we are their first role models, and what a great example for them if they can catch us taking care of ourselves. Awesome. So one of the first things I want you to do with me is figure out your subjective unit of distress, or your SUD number. And that's that number that on a scale of 0 to 10 is the level right now that you're feeling of distress or disturbance, or the intensity of the distress or nervousness, especially in those of us with anxiety. And I also want to let you know, you are free to take a photograph of any of the slides. Certainly you can take notes. And at the very end of the presentation tonight, I want to do a meditation with you, and I would advise or suggest that you audio record it so that you can listen to it anytime you want on your own. So the way we determine what our SUD number is we do a body scan. So if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes or just gaze down to the floor. And in your mind's eye or your imagination, just put your attention into the top of your head and simply notice what you notice. And then move down to behind your eyes, to your cheeks, your jawline. And you're just noticing, is there tension? Are there aches? Is there tightness? I know I tend to carry anxiety in my jaw. And then continue down to your neck and shoulders. That's another place where I tend to go like this. Down your arms, to your elbows and your wrists and your hands. And you're noticing, are they tight? Are you clenching your hands? Do you fidget a lot with your fingers? Now take your attention back up to your heart and to your lungs. Are you breathing slowly, or are you breathing fast? Are you breathing, or are you holding your breath? And now move your attention down to your rib cage, to your stomach, to your hips. What do you notice there? Is there any tightness in your stomach? Any angst? And now move your attention down your legs to your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet. Do you notice your legs tend to jiggle or your toes tend to tap on the floor? And now take a nice deep breath in, exhale and open your eyes if they're closed. And you know, this whole hour, there's no judgments, there's no right or wrong. This is simply a tool for you to become mindful of how your body is responding. Because honestly, it's way easier to take care of yourself when you're aware of what's going on inside your body. So if you found your number to be higher than where you want it to be, the first exercise I'm going to teach you is a really wonderful breathing technique to lower it. And this is called, and that's a picture from my book, this is called the 4-7-8 breathing for relaxation. And I learned this from Dr. Andrew Weil, oh my gosh, maybe 25 years ago. He swears that this is the best breathing technique to calm the entire nervous system. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, this is a great breathing technique to do. This breathing technique clears the lungs and the brain of carbon dioxide, because you know, when we inhale oxygen from trees, our body turns that into carbon dioxide, and then we exhale that back to the trees. However, if I'm nervous, and if I'm shallow breathing, I'm not getting all that carbon dioxide out. Or if I get so scared that I stop breathing altogether, I'm definitely not getting that carbon dioxide out. And then what happens is the vagus nerve, which goes from my brain all the way down to my midsection, it starts to realize, okay, there's no room in the lungs for incoming clean air. And it sets everything on alert. So this breathing, especially with the long exhale, tells the vagus nerve everything is fine, tells the brain, tells the stomach, you can activate the relaxation response. It's okay to reduce the heart rate and blood pressure. And really, it regulates the entire nervous system and calms the whole body down, which gets us out of that fight, flight, or freeze response. And one of the most important parts about this is, like I said, that long exhale. So I'm going to do 5 of these breaths with you. And if you can do a quick scan of your body, what's your number on? You don't have to, say to anybody else. 0 to 10, 0 it's nothing, 10 it's off the charts. Right now, where are you with any discomfort at all? Any anxiety, any nervousness? Just have that in your head and let's see if it goes down. You're going to inhale through your nose to the count of 4. I'll do all the counting. You're going to hold it for 7 seconds and then you're going to exhale. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, exhale for 8 seconds. So if you're comfortable, close your eyes again. Find yourself comfortable wherever you're sitting. And go ahead and inhale for 4. Hold it. And exhale. Good, and 4 more. Inhale for 4. And hold it. And exhale. And inhale. And hold it. And exhale. Inhale. And hold it. And exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. And hold it. And exhale. And how does that feel? I love doing this technique at the beginning of a presentation because that just, along with the squiggle, that helps me really calm myself. So it's wonderful. So in their book, The Power of Showing Up, How Parental Presence Shapes Who Our Kids Become and How Their Brains Get Wired, Dr. Daniel Siegel and Dr. Tina Payne Bryson have found that children who form secure relationships with their caregivers lead happier and more fulfilling lives. They say these types of relationships are formed when parents respond to the needs of their children by providing the 4 S's. And that's safe, seen, soothed, and secure. And so the first S is safe. When it comes to safety, parents need to keep their kids safe and make them feel safe. This is done by protecting them from harm and avoid becoming a source of fear and threat. That means do no harm. Make a commitment with your child and yourself that you will not be the source of fear in your home. And remember, you're bigger than them. If they're little, you're big. Your body language, your voice, your tone, your eyes. My son used to say, "Mom, calm down your eyes," because I didn't know how big they got when I'd be talking to him about something. He's like, "Whoa, back it off." I didn't know. So my eyes were looking, scary to him. And our voice, our tone, our eyes, they might look, they might feel, they might sound angry and gruff, and we're not even aware of it. So I ask you to become aware of that. And know if you slip up, repair that relationship and reconnect as soon as possible. Apologize if necessary. Get down to their level and talk to them. Remember, we all make mistakes, especially if our parents are kind of gruff with us. So our job is to be better than our parents and to help your kids feel safe and comfortable with you. Create the overall feel that your home is a safe and well-being environment, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And if this is hard for you, practice, because practice makes things permanent, not perfect. If I don't know how I want to respond to something with my own kids, I actually might practice how I want to say it, or with my spouse, or with my whoever. I might practice so that when I need it, it comes right out automatically. And what that practice does, it actually changes our brain. It's called neuroplasticity. And so our brains can get stuck in the same groove over and over, like a groove of a record, over and over and over. And it becomes our default when we don't even want that to be our default system. So practice the changes that you want to make. The next S is to be seen. To truly see our kids, they need 3 things from us. They need for us to attune to their internal mental states, that's how they think and process, on a profound and meaningful level. And second, they need us to understand their inner life, how they feel and respond, and for us to respond to what we see in a timely manner and an effective manner. So if one of my kids did something really kind to their sibling, it's important that I kind of catch that sooner rather than later, because it doesn't have the same effect if I wait a week or 2 weeks or something, or even a day. But just compliment, "Hey, that was really nice what you did." And this is the definition of I understand you, I feel you, I see you. I know who you are. So spend time observing your child, really paying attention to what they're doing so you can understand who they are and what they're about, what they like, what they dislike. Get down on the floor and play with them. Look them in the eyes when they talk to you, and talk to them in a way that they feel comfortable taking you into their world. Make moments for them to show you who they really are. And ask them questions and then let them explain. Work to not interrupt or interpret for them. Yes, of course, we're parents. We know what they're trying to say, or we know what, is the right answer. Let them tell us. Let them share that information. And please work to do this without the distractions of cell phones, TVs, or even other people around. The third S is soothed. When your child is in a state of distress or dysregulation, you can help them shift that experience by being there for them with love and care. So it's that, rubbing their back, oh, honey, I'm sorry. That must have been really scary for you or really difficult. And you're okay now. There, it's kind of that, there you go, and patting them on the back. She might still be in a place of pain, but she's not going to feel alone. This interaction will help your child learn to self-soothe herself with your example of soothing her. So when your kids are upset, give them peace. Give them your presence, engagement, affection, calmness, and empathy. PEACE. And when we give those 3 S's, our kids feel secure. We help them feel safe, seen, soothed. That all creates that feeling inside that, wow, yeah, I do feel secure. And let's face it, kids need a secure base in life to feel safe. They need us to see them and care for them emotionally. And they need to know that we will soothe them when they are distressed. Then they learn to keep themselves safe, to see themselves as worthy, and to soothe themselves when things go wrong. So feeling secure means that they can trust that others will show up, especially us parents, and then that helps them trust themselves and their world. All right, so you've been sitting a long time. I want to teach you my next energy technique, and this is called the cross crawl from Donna Eden. And you can do this technique either sitting or standing. So if you're sitting, what you're going to do is you're going to raise your right knee and your left hand will touch the knee or your elbow, and then you reverse it with the other side. So this is what, if you can see my knee, this is what it looks like if you're sitting. If you can stand and do it, you can either raise your right arm and your left knee, or your left arm and your right knee. So if you're in a place right now, I highly recommend you try this with me, because this is one of the best ways to help your whole body get back into a place of regulation. And if you can do your elbows to your knees, you're now twisting your body. That's also really good. Or you can tap your knees. And I have, do this 10 times. You can do this 20 times. You can do this for a minute, whatever works for you. And I tell clients, everybody has to leave a meeting or something and go to the bathroom. Go and do some cross crawls. If you find yourself really stressed out at a meeting or whatever, go walk down the hallway doing some cross crawls. This improves your focus, your energy. I suggest you do this and teach this to your children. This is a really great one for kids. If they're feeling scattered, overwhelmed, and can't seem to focus. Because what's going on is the right side of your brain is talking to the left side of your body. The left side of your brain is talking to the right side of your body. And that's get everything coordinating back together instead of being way out here. Donna Eden cross crawl, great one. Did I say it helps with coordination? It helps with coordination too. All right. So now, if you're asking yourself, how do I give this to my children? I don't even know how to give this to myself. That's a great question. And the answer is, you become your own parent. You become your own caretaker. I believe that our parents did the best that they could raising us based on the way they were raised. Whether you agree with that or not, I really do believe they were doing their best. Our job is to be better parents than our parents, and our children then to be better parents than us. So become your own better parent. We can't change other people. We can't change our environment. We can't change a pandemic. We can't change our partners. We can't change, a lot of things, but I can change the way my body responds. And I can change so that I respond versus react to the world around me. So if I give these tools to myself first, then I can give them to others. And that's what creates resilience. And resilience is that ability to bounce back. So this is an important piece for us all to understand and for us all to work on, because this is what helps us live longer, healthier, more productive lives, being resilient. And it also helps us with everything that's going on in our world right now. It helps us and it helps our kids. So if we learn to do this first, then we can teach it to our kids. So the first is to find someone, everybody, find someone that you can talk to. A trusted person that you can share your deepest, darkest secret. Someone you feel safe with. Because when we shine the light on something that might be dark within us with a trusted person, it'll help me feel better. And make sure it's someone that's not critical or judging. And don't be too judgy on yourself. But I will say, if you don't have any friends like that, you might need to make some new friends. The second part of being resilient is to know that everyone has tough times. Whether we're in a pandemic or not, nobody's immune to it. Really work hard to not have that victim mentality. Wah, 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 why me? Why do these things always happen to me? We can't change the world, but we can change how our body responds. And life is about ups and downs. This too is going to pass. We don't know when yet, but it will pass. The third step to resilience is to find something positive in your life and focus on that. Spend quality time with yourself. Soothe yourself, just like we kind of talked about with kids. You can hold like one hand here underneath your arm and on your arm here. And just, I do this all the time with myself, with my clients. Just hug yourself and soothe yourself. Like, there you go. You got it. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. That's a wonderful tool. If you felt like you didn't get enough of that as a kid, do it to yourself now. Give it to yourself now. Soothe yourself. Dance, sing, listen to uplifting music. Read a great book. Take a nice long bath. Journal. Take a walk out in nature. See yourself for who you are and care about yourself. Maybe you want to pray the serenity prayer. Maybe you want to practice gratitude every day. Find three things that you're grateful for every day. And if you can, please cut back on the news and find the gifts out there. Look for the good in the good people. I don't know if any of you were, at the beginning of the pandemic, there's all kinds of videos on YouTube and different channels. And I don't know if any of you saw John Krasinski's Some Good News. It is on YouTube, if you can still look at it. I was moved to tears with every episode. It was so beautiful what he was doing with his wife and his daughters and bringing in his colleagues and friends. He's from The Office. They just did some amazing things, and it always made me feel good. The fourth, ask yourself, am I taking care of myself? Is what I'm eating, drinking, watching, reading, saying, listening to, YouTubing, Googling, is this stuff helping me or harming me? Is this really good for me or not? We can become very addicted to media, to news, to social media. And oftentimes I walk away more agitated than how I felt before I turned it on. So I'm not being judgmental, because we all have our ways that we find comfort right now. But just pay attention. Do that SUD scale on your body and pay attention to how you feel before you turned on something like that and afterwards. Personally, I find I can't watch right now, especially, I can't watch a lot of violent really violent programs. And there's a lot of violent programs out there. It's hard for me to sleep, so I like to turn on something lighter and more fun right before I go to bed, or read a nice book before I go to bed. And the fifth idea for resilience is everyone can do this. You need to be willing to try and know that these are baby steps. So be super kind to yourself. We all mess up. Lean into these new behaviors. They say it takes 66 days to make a new behavior automatic. And again, practice. Practice, practice, practice. That makes permanence, not perfection. All right, so now this technique I love, especially for kids. This is called, I don't know if you can see because of where my picture is, finger holds to manage emotions. And this I learned from a woman, gosh, maybe 30 years ago, who would take all of these energetic healing skills to people all over the globe. She would go to South Africa, she would go to Northern Ireland, she would go wherever there was strife and violence and warring. And she again would say to them also, I can't change your world. I can't change your village, but I can change how your body responds. And when we don't have that energetic flow, that our bodies feel clogged and they can feel dis-ease or even disease. I mean, like the anxious stomach can cause ulcers, or if we're not breathing, sometimes I get headaches or I get lightheaded. And so we have an actual physical response to these energetic clogs, I'll call them. So this technique, and this is a great one, you see there's a child's hand and there's an adult hand. The meridians that run through our body, they exit at the fingers and the toes. And so this finger, this thumb, it represents being upset. Babies suck their thumb when they're born because they intuitively know that's going to calm them down. Brilliant. The first finger is about fear, panic, or being scared. The middle finger, well, you can imagine what that one's about, anger, being mad, rage. The ring finger, a lot of people, see, we know this stuff. A lot of people twirl their rings on the ring finger because they're worried. This one's about worry and anxiety. And then the pinky is about feeling bad or having self-doubts, low self-esteem. And so the idea is you hold each finger with the opposite hand, and you can do this to someone else. You can do this to a child or even an elder senior who's, maybe they're nonverbal, but you can tell they're upset about something. You hold each finger 2 to 5 minutes, and then you breathe in deeply. You recognize and acknowledge the strong feeling that's inside, and then you exhale and let it go. So you're breathing in harmony and strength and healing, and you're breathing out the past feelings and problems. So I give this one to all of my kids that I work with. I give this one to all my clients, actually. Take a picture of this screen right here and give it to your kids. You want to hold until you feel a nice, gentle pulse. Sometimes kids get there in 30 seconds because they have an easier time with a lot of these techniques because they're not our age and they don't have as many years of pretending and shoving things down. So they can heal faster with these energetic techniques, which is the beautiful thing for them. So teach them about finger holds to manage their emotions. It's beautiful. And let's see. Oops, right there. Now, this one is my all-time favorite technique, and it's called Emotional Freedom Technique. This technique is getting a lot more attention these days because there is now scientific proof that this works. So I know I'm giving you a lot of techniques. This is probably my favorite one right now. I watched a program on sacredscience.com. I hadn't heard about this site before, and they had proven, it's a program called proven, scientifically proven techniques that were complementary and alternative to help people heal themselves. And this one was the #1 technique for anxiety. So I'm teaching this one definitely to all of my clients. Emotional freedom technique, or tapping, is what it's known as. And it was developed by Gary Craig, Dr. Gary Craig. And it is similar to acupressure because you're going to focus on some meridian points, not just the fingers, but all through the upper part of the body. Because these acupressure points are like energy hotspots. And when we focus on them, we restore balance to our body's energy. So this is based on Chinese medicine. The meridian points are thought of as areas of the body that energy flows through. So when we tap on these pathways, we keep the energy flowing. Because again, stuck energy can create an imbalance that can cause what some people say is disease or dis-ease or sickness. And it is believed that when we restore this energy balance, we can relieve the symptoms that either a negative experience or an emotion may have caused. So recently, I don't know if I was researching tapping or I don't know what I was looking at, but they had a baseball player, I don't even know who he was, and he was tapping in the dugout, and the newscaster, the announcer, was wise enough to say, looks like he's calming himself down. I was like, yes, yes, tapping is getting into the mainstream. So I am going to teach you this technique called tapping. So 5 steps to it. And this, again, take a photo of this one. And also there's lots of information. Actually, all of these techniques are all over YouTube or the internet. So the first step is you want to decide on an issue to work on. So it's a worry, a phobia, an anxiety, anything like that, your negative self-concept that you want to heal. And then you're going to use that SUD scale. So you're going to give yourself a rating, a measure of where that is. So for tonight's purposes, we're going to use anxiety. So if I were to go in my body right now, actually my anxiety is pretty low because I've been doing my breathing, but maybe tomorrow, I've got something going on and my anxiety is up at a 6 or a 7. I'm then going to say 3 times at each place that we tap, even though I have anxiety. So I'm going to, even though I have, fill in the blank of whatever it is, the problem. You can do this on emotional pains, and you can do this on physical pains. So if your back is aching, if your jaw is aching, maybe you grind or you clench your teeth, or you have a headache. Even though I have this headache, then the next part is I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And you're doing this emotional freedom technique on yourself. This is not one that you can do on someone else. You can't do it to their body. You can't say, even though my daughter's in deep grief, I could deeply and completely love. It has to be your grief or your sadness or your issue. So even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, kids might say something simpler like, in spite of the fact that I have this problem, I'm okay and I accept myself. Or just because Sally was mean to me, I know I'm okay and I accept myself, or whatever they're working on. And then the tapping places, and there's lots of diagrams of this online, is we're going to start with the side of the hand. They call that the karate chop. So you're going to tap the side of your hand, and then you're going to go to the top of the head. And I use 3 to 4 pads of my fingertips. And you're not pounding, on your head or on your face. But you're not super light either. So it's nice so that you can feel it. So we start with the karate chop on the hand, then we go to the top of the head, and then you're going to go right where the eyebrows meet by the eyes. You're going to tap there. And then you're going to follow that bone to the side of the eye. That bone that's right there on the side, you're going to tap there. So it's not in the indentation, it's over on the bone. And then that same, you're going to follow underneath the eye to that bone there. And we're going to go through this all together. And then you tap under the nose. You tap on the chin. And then you take your knuckles and you tap just right, maybe 5 inches underneath your armpit where your ribs are. You're going to tap the side there. Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. After the chin, we go to the clavicle. So the clavicle is that bone right here, and underneath it, there's this kind of a soft spot. You're going to tap there. Then you're going to tap below the armpits, and then you're going to go back to your hand karate chop. Then I want you to check your number. See how far it's come down. The idea is to get down to 0 or 1. If you're good with 2, go to 2. You may need to do this again. You may need to do it a third time. Do it until it gets down to the place where you're comfortable, where it is. Get down to a 0, get down to 1. Why not? And you can do this preventatively. You can do this on a daily basis. Keep that energy flowing. There's something else I was going to say about that. Well, let's get started. It'll come back to me. Oh, I know. So if you have anxiety, if you have something that you normally have, do that SUD scale, or any issue that you have, that you notice that you have, do that SUD scale often. And when your number gets to a 4, do a healing technique. Don't work to not let yourself get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's so uncomfortable. It's so difficult. But if you notice you're starting to go there, stop it at 4. Why not? Do your breathing, do your tapping, do some cross crawls, go for a walk, do something different. And again, we're energetic beings, so we need to move. We need to have that energy flowing through us so it doesn't get stuck. So let's do this one together. We're going to repeat the statements 3 times. I'm going to use anxiety for the example tonight. And so do your SUD scale check-in, figure out what your number is, and starting with the karate chop. Even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then the top of the head. And you can change it up a little bit. Yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yep, still a little more anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And one more. I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then the eyebrows. Even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then the side of the eye. Yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Underneath the eye, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Under the nose, even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. In the chin, even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then the clavicle, that's right here under the bone. And you can alternate with that or at the same time. Even though I have anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yes, I have anxiety. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then down to below the armpits there, right on the rib cage. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then back to the karate chop. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yes, I have anxiety, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have some anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a breath. And check your number now. I'm very relaxed. I love my job. So the first part of that statement, even though I have whatever, yes, I have, although I have, that can change just a little bit, but always keep the second half. I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and work to say it as emphatic as you can. You know, say it with meaning and belief, that I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All right. So that brings us to the last exercise. Gosh, this went fast. This is called, and this is one I'd really love for you to record, because it's a 5-minute meditation. It's not long at all, and it is a beautifully healing. This is called heart math, or quick coherence technique. And I learned this from Jackie Kokoska. It's on YouTube. There's a lot of heart math information out there, how healing it is for us. So let's end our session, our training here with this meditation. And I invite you to get nice and comfortable in your chair, wherever you're sitting. And again, if you're comfortable, closing your eyes or gazing down at the floor. Actually, you can do this with your eyes open. You can do this with your eyes closed. But go ahead and settle into your chair, wherever you're sitting. Uncross your arms and uncross your legs. Release all the tension from your body, feeling fully supported. Now bring your attention and your awareness to your heart. Focus on the center of your chest and simply notice your heart and the heart space around it. While continuing to focus on your heart, take some slow, easy, refreshing breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Try to imagine in your mind's eye there that your breath is coming in and out of your heart space. Visualize it, see it coming in, swirling around your heart, and then slowly going back out. And now I invite you to add a positive heart feeling. Recall a time you felt good. A situation that filled your heart with joy, excitement, happiness, peacefulness, or gratitude. Relive that moment right now. Really tap into the emotions that you were feeling, that you were experiencing. That joy, that love, that happiness, that peacefulness. The key is to shift from your head to your heart, and shift from thinking about the situation to feeling the emotion from the situation. Simply imagine you're back in time, reliving this moment. And continue that heart-focused breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. Just gently bring your attention back to your heart space. Breathe and recall your positive memory. And then when you're ready, slowly bring your attention back to the room. Open your eyes if they're closed. And try to hold on to the way you feel right now as you go about the rest of this day. By taking focused breaths while recalling a positive emotion, you can begin to regulate your emotions in the moment to stop the drain that emotionally charged situations can have on your system. And instead, begin adding energy to your system anytime, anywhere. And that's it, the end. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed presenting it and teaching you all these fun techniques. I think they're fun techniques. I hope that you learned something tonight and that you'll take this home, take this to your family, take this to your friends. I tell everybody that I teach these things to, teach this to everybody. We all need to learn these tools and techniques. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Regina. That was wonderful. Really helped me to relax. So I hope
Good.
everyone who joined got to take, the opportunity to really be able to take advantage of these, exercises and just kind of relax yourself on these troubling times that we are in right now, stressful times.
Exactly.
So please, does anyone have any questions? Please free, to raise your hand or type it in the chat or the Q&A. Anybody? Or is everyone just really relaxed now?
No problems.
That's, I guess, yeah, you did such a good job. No one has any questions. All right, well, we did record this event tonight, the presentation. So if you do want to see it again, we can share the link. Just feel free to email me. My email address is the one you received with the link. And I'll be happy to share and then eventually we will put it on our YouTube channel too.
Awesome.
So, all right, well, I guess if no one has any questions, thank you again and have a terrific evening. Thank you, Regina.
Thank you, everyone. Be well.
You too, thank you.